Hi everyone! Today we're going to continue our exploration of proportional reasoning using decimals. We will look at how to represent decimals as fractions. So far we've seen how decimals help us represent whole numbers and parts in a single number. Place value helps you know exactly where to put the parts if you recall. What is that space beside the decimal reserved for? Pause and see if you remember. The place right beside the decimal is where you put tenths. That's right. These parts are really fractions. You don't see the denominator, but you should know it is there. So, the first step in representing decimal numbers as fractions is to know that the place value is a clue that you need to use to figure out the denominator. So we know at this point that on either side of the decimal we have wholes and tenths. So, what kind of part is this place for? Pause and discuss. That's right. This place is where you put hundredths. You should know that the invisible denominator in this case is 100. So, the secret of representing decimals as fractions is knowing the value of the invisible denominator. Let's take a look at some money. You're going to try to represent it first as a decimal and then as a fraction. Pause and give it a try. Okay, after counting these coins up, I see that there is $2.85. So now I need to just figure out the hidden denominators. Wait, are there two denominators? Well, there are two places, one for the tenths and one for the hundredths, but that doesn't mean that we should record two different fractions. We need to record them as a single fraction. Question is, what is a good denominator for both? Here it makes sense to do a bit of drawing. Decimals were designed to make it easy to find equivalent fractions. Watch this. I'm going to represent the two whole dollars as whole squares. I can represent 8 tenths and 5 hundredths in the same square by first breaking the square up into 100 approximately equal pieces. There. A tenth is a rod like this. Why? Because it takes 10 of these rods to build 100. I'll color 8 of them to show 8 tenths. Now I need to color 5 hundredths. And then finally, I need to combine them into one fraction. I can't just add them yet, though. Each rod is worth 10 hundredths, giving you how many altogether? That's right, 85 hundredths, or 85 over 100. Oh, can't forget about my two whole dollars. Altogether, $2.85. Let's try one more example. First, count up the money. How much is there? Pause and figure it out. In this case, there are 0 whole dollars and 60 cents. How should we record this as a fraction? Well, let's look at the place value. The place where the 6 is sitting is for tenths, right? And there's nothing in the hundredths place. Is this correct? What happens with the 0? What are your thoughts? Pause and discuss. The way to explore this question again is to draw it out. Let's take our square dollar and break it up into 100 parts again, like this. Remember that we can record both tenths and hundredths this way. A tenth is a rod like this. When I color 6 of them, I end up with 2 possibilities. 6 tenths or 60 hundredths. Both are correct because they are equivalent to one another. That means I can write the decimal 2 ways as well, 0.6 or 0.60. These are both equivalent. Now it's your turn. You're going to look at some coins and try to record them as decimals and fractions. Challenge yourself to see if there are equivalent fractions and decimals that you can use. For more practice images, visit Numeracy Lab and select Proportional Reasoning. In the Proportional Reasoning menu, you will find Decimals Part 2. Click here to access Money and Base 10 practice images. Good luck, everyone.